It's time to stop being fat. I want to help you guys stop being fat once and for all. And I'm gonna show you how to do it fast. Now, to be clear, in this video, I'm gonna break down everything you need to burn fat fast. I don't want to hear any of you talking about that's unsustainable. Fast and unsustainable. When it comes to fat loss, those goals are in conflict with each other. You can have one, but you can't have the other. If you want to lose weight fast, if you want to burn fat fast, I'm gonna show you in this video. If you want something sustainable, then you need to leave this video, like right now. We'll wait for you to leave. All right, cool. Not all the lazy bitches are gone. I can talk to the tough guys who are ready to lose weight fast. I think that all that sustainable diet shit has been pushed on you by fitness influencers who think you are a bitch. And that's why they give you that easy shit. To lose fat, you have to be in a caloric deficit. It's quite literally a mild form of starvation. Why would you want to sustain starvation? I think you should get ripped as fast as possible. Then once you hit your ideal body weight, you move into a plan that you can sustain. Let's get ripped fast as possible, then move into something sustainable. And there's advantages to that. One, you make progress fast. You stop being fat quicker. Two, if it's taking you mad long to lose weight, you are likely to get discouraged and quit. I've seen it happen plenty of times. I've been a personal trainer for over 25 years. One of the things I specialized in was helping people get ripped as fast as possible. And then we moved into something sustainable. This is gonna be super difficult. In fact, this may be one of the most difficult fat loss protocols any of you have ever seen. Definitely more difficult than almost anything any of you have ever embarked on. You clicked on a video because you wanted to lose fat fast. If you wanted it easy, you should go somewhere else. Probably a middle-aged white woman somewhere on the internet. She's got something easy you can do. This is gonna test how hard you are, how tough you are. And a lot of you will fail, but it's not for everyone, all right? There's 3 steps to this protocol, and each one of them is gonna get more difficult than the last. I'm sure I'm gonna lose many viewers throughout this video. This is not the video I would post if I wanted to get 1 million views, but it will work, of that I assure you. So the first thing you need to do to lose fat is you need to be in a caloric deficit, meaning you have to burn more calories than you consume. The reason you have to do that is because the way the human body works on a biological level, the reason your body stores fat is because, you know, this whole being able to eat whenever you want shit is pretty new as far as human history is concerned. If our ancient ancestors wanted to eat something, they had to grow it or kill it, right? You just have to go on your phone and order Uber Eats. Our ancestors would go through long stretches of famine, and if they killed a buffalo or a woolly mammoth, the whole tribe would eat the whole mammoth because, you know, refrigerators hadn't been invented yet. That food was about to rot. They needed to eat it all because they couldn't store it for later. But they could store it for later. If they ate it all, those extra calories would be stored as fat. Listen, I never killed a woolly mammoth. What I'm about to say is just a hypothesis, but I would assume it's difficult to kill mammoths with sticks and stones. It was super difficult for them to actually kill these motherfucking animals. So if they did kill one, they eat it all, then they probably go through a starvation period. And that's been the majority of human history, feast and famine. And we evolved in order to get through that by eating a surplus of food. And when we are in a caloric deficit, meaning we're not getting a lot of food or not getting a lot of calories, your body will use that fat as energy. We have to do the same thing to lose fat now. We have to be in a caloric deficit. To burn a pound of fat, you have to actually burn 3,500 calories. So you have to be in a caloric deficit of 3,500 for every pound of fat that you want to burn. How do we make sure this happens? Well, we have to track it. This is where I'm gonna lose a lot of you motherfuckers, but I'm telling you this will work. So here's a study done by Duke University where they had people tracking everything they ate. We're gonna use this, just ignore all these other lines. We're gonna talk about this as one in gray. This gray line, all they did was tell the participants in the study to just track what you ate for 3 months. They didn't give them any diet plan. They didn't give them any protocol. They didn't even tell them to be in a caloric deficit. They didn't tell them anything. They got 0 instructions. All they said was track what you ate. Guess what happened? You guessed it. These motherfuckers started eating less. All the participants started to lose weight when they started tracking. Now, when they stopped tracking at month 3 and they started to gain some of the weight back. So the first thing we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be tracking our diet. If you did want something easy, that's about as easy as it gets. You don't even have to follow a diet plan, according to the study from Duke University. Right? These are fucking scientists, right? All you have to do is track what you eat. They use MyFitnessPal to track it. Just track everything you eat and you'll lose weight. You could just do that if you wanted something simple and easy. You guys want to lose weight fast. These motherfuckers lost on average, you know, a little over 5 pounds in 3 months. I wouldn't call that fast. We're gonna take it up a notch. So first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna be tracking what you eat. And then a lot of people are asking, how do you track food that you can't find on MyFitnessPal? I don't eat food I can't track. I keep a food scale on me everywhere I go. I've shown it in tons of videos, tons of times. And I track everything I eat. I keep it on me, and I weigh my food, even at restaurants, and I put it in MyFitnessPal. And it's super easy. It only takes a second. If you do that, man, you'll lose weight. Listen, if you can't track your diet, this is the easiest diet plan I've ever heard. No diet, just track what you eat, and studies show you'll lose weight. If you can't even do that, get the fuck away from this video, leave. In order to track your food, you gotta get that food scale. This is fast, we're not trying to be easy. Keep a food scale on you every day, everywhere you go. And though a lot of people are thinking of typing, that's too much work. I don't wanna do that. You shouldn't be watching a video about burning fat fast if you're not willing to be extreme. This is not for you. This is an extreme fat loss protocol. I've been doing that every day for over a decade. It's not a big deal to me, but I am tougher than you. The next step you need some sort of wearable to track the calories you burn. I used to use the Apple Watch for that for years. If you watch my old videos, I'm always wearing an Apple Watch, but I switched to the Oura Ring because it blends in with my attire. You know, the watches I wear now, they don't track my heart rate or the calories, but they raise your bitch's heart rate. And you can use an Apple Watch or Oura Ring or a Garmin or a Fitbit, and you want to use that to track the calories you burn each day. Listen to me, pay attention. It's not 100% accurate. I know that. What we want is some sort of baseline, because what's the alternative? The alternative is to just guess. We know it's going to be a range. Wearables, they usually overestimate your calorie expenditure per day. Even food labels are not 100% accurate. It's fucked up, right? Check this out. The FDA allows food labels to be 20% inaccurate, meaning they can be 20% wrong in either direction. It's just a fucking range. Like, we're not sure, but we want to make the range as tight as possible. But what we're going to do is we're going to err on the side of caution. Now, once you're tracking the calories you burn and you're tracking the calories you consume each day, then you need to actually have that data and put it somewhere. Let me show you what I mean. This is what I do for people I train and what I've done for myself for decades, right? So you get some sort of spreadsheet every day. You come in here and you put in the calories you consumed each day, all right? Let's say you consume 2,000 calories this day. Boom. Now we want to be in a deficit, right? So let's say we burnt 3,000 calories a day, right? Boom. That means we burnt 1,000 calories. Let's say we do that every day. Now, again, you have to track this stuff, because remember, right? Just tracking, you'll lose weight. You'll succeed if all you did was track. You'll lose weight according to the data, according to studies. All right. Let's say we just kept it the same. I'm gonna be simple. Use a simple math for you. According to this, we're in about 1,000 calorie deficit each day. You may be saying, "Hey, man, I heard such and such say we want to be in a 500 calorie deficit," or influencer so-and-so said you just need a 500 calorie deficit. Yeah, listen, asshole. If that shit you saw from another video worked for you, you wouldn't be watching another video on how to burn fat, would you? Shut the fuck up and apologize to me. We're just getting simple math. Let's just say you did everything perfect each day. You won't, but let's just say you did. You should burn, remember, every pound of fat is 3,500 calories. You should burn 2 pounds of fat. It should work. It's math. Now, here's the thing. Remember, fitness trackers aren't 100% accurate, but they put you in a nice tight range. And that's why we overshoot. We take it a little higher to make up for the potential inaccuracies. And you track it. I'm using Notion for this, but you can use Google Sheets and just put in a formula. And then it comes out this. Now you see what your average is every week. I'm gonna put a sheet in this video, kind of like the one I had, so you guys can use it. You can start tracking the shit yourself. And that's part one. You wanna make sure you're tracking everything. Now, how many calories should you have each day? How many calories should you burn each day? What your macros should be? That's step 2. So you got to get your calories and macros down. Like, what exactly are you going to eat? Let's talk about the diet. I think you should have at least 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass. You might have to get a DEXA scan or find a way to measure what your lean body mass to get your body fat percentage. Get an estimate of what your lean body mass, and you want to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I know you've heard some other fucking YouTuber reference some study, or maybe you read a study saying that you don't need that much protein, that maybe 0.7 or 0.8 grams of protein is enough. However, those studies were done in controlled environments by scientists. They They knew exactly how much protein that person was consuming. Remember, we don't. We're doing the best we can, but the FDA allows food labels to be wrong, to have a 20% margin of error. Meaning, if you buy some shit and it says it has 10 grams of protein, it might have 8, it might have 12. They're allowed to be 20% wrong in either direction. So to account for that, instead of 0.8, we're gonna do 1 gram to make up for that potential 20% loss. Because we're in the real world, we're not doing it in labs. The way that the studies were done, right? We're in a controlled environment. Now remember, I said at least. I've been a personal trainer for over 25 years. I've trained thousands of people, both in person and online. And people seem to have success with higher protein than even 1 gram. People that I've trained, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you people I've trained. When I'm cutting, I take my protein up to at least 1.5 or 2 grams, at least. And there's a few reasons for that. One, here's some studies. It says on the ketogenic diet a little bit. It's more so a high protein ketogenic diet. And that's what I do. In this study, it talks about how when you have doing a high protein ketogenic diet, which is what I do, it drastically reduces your appetite. But just high protein in general will give you more satiety, and you're less likely to be hungry if your protein is high, right? Because protein is satiating, and you're way less likely to be hungry if your protein is super high. And if you're not hungry, that makes it easier for you to keep your calories low. I mean, that's one macro you want to have. So we want to keep our protein at least 1 gram. Your fats and carbs, I don't really give a fuck what you do with fats and carbs. Keep your protein at 1 gram of lean body mass, and we want to keep your calories, your lean body mass times 10. So if your lean body mass is 200, then you want 2,000 calories that day. And I know you may be saying that's too little, right? Remember, we're doing this fast. You want it to be fast or not? You want it to be fast or you want it to be easy? But if you do it, you will lose weight. I mean, it's just math. You'll be in a caloric deficit, but your protein will be high enough to retain the majority of your muscle, or at least a good portion of your muscle. I don't care what you do with your fats and carbs. Some of you hate keto. Some of you love high carbs. I don't give a fuck how you do it, right? As long as you keep that protein up and you keep your calories at your lean body mass times 10, which is going to be super low calories for most of you guys. I caution you against filling the rest of those calories with carbs, because if you fill it with fat, you're more likely to be in ketosis. There's another study to show keto diets actually decrease cravings, right? And decrease appetite. You can see how that can be beneficial. If you're not as hungry and your calories are super low, it might be easier to adhere to that. And now you may be thinking that the high protein is going to kick you out of ketosis. That's just not been my experience. Like, no matter how high I take my protein, I test my blood glucose levels twice a day, every day, keeping my protein at the levels I'm telling you. As long as my carbohydrates levels were low, I usually stay in ketosis. And this is me testing my blood ketones twice a day. This work with people I've trained. I have never trained somebody and they've gone out of ketosis by consuming too much protein. I just haven't seen. I know that studies say gluconeogenesis will kick you out of ketosis. I just haven't seen that in the real world. However, being in ketosis is not necessarily what we need for this diet. You just need the protein to crush your appetite. And here's the thing, the problem is, man, some of you motherfuckers are gonna fill it with carbs. And I know you guys hate the ketogenic diet and you wanna attack me for even suggesting that it's something you should do. And the reason you wanna do that is because you're addicts, sugar addicts, because sugar is addictive. The idea of giving up sugar is fucking with you. But here's Princeton University with a whole study talking about how addictive sugar is. They say it's similar to drugs. You can eat candy and cake, and as long as you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. You can. But can you do that? Can you do that? Probably not. There's another study about how addictive sugar is, Mount Sinai. On top of weight gain, the consumption can cause irreparable damage, putting you at higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, depression, anxiety, memory loss, and even reduced brain volume. That's just sugar, man. That's just sugar. So that's why you guys get so mad when I suggest cutting carbs. But you can eat carbs if you want. The problem is carbs make you hungry because they're addictive. So that's the diet plan. When it comes to lifting weights, your calories are going to be super low. You're not going to put on a lot of muscle during this time. I recommend you do 3 to 4 full body workouts per week, 1 to 2 exercises per body part, and just do that. Focus on compound exercises. I don't want to talk about this too much. You're not going to build a lot of muscle during this period. What I do want to talk about is the cardio you're going to do. So I want you to walk 20,000 steps per day. 20,000 steps. That is twice as much as normally recommended, 10,000 steps per day. Remember, this is extreme. We're trying to burn fat fast, right? Extreme results require extreme actions. If you walk 20,000 steps per day, on average, you should burn an additional 1,000 calories per day. At least on average. Like, it's gonna vary depending on your height, weight. I'm just talking about the average person. You should burn an additional 1,000 calories per day. But remember, you're already in a deficit because you're keeping your calories so low. So on top of that, we're gonna burn an extra 1,000 calories. Just that alone, you'll burn 2 pounds of fat a week. It's gonna take the average person about 2 hours. You know, I said this before, and this big fitness influencer who will remain nameless said that nobody has enough time to walk that much. Nobody has enough time to walk that much. A simple search on YouTube will show you that there's like white ladies doing it, man. Like fucking women, tiny women are doing it. Like what is this YouTuber or fitness influencer was said, hey man, it's too much. This chick did it. I don't know why he's not tough enough to do it, but this chick did it. This fella did it. Who else, man? This guy did it. He not even ripped. He just a regular guy. This guy did it. There's all types of people doing it, actually, you know? So don't let nobody tell you can't. This guy's doing 30,000 steps a day. This guy doing, so people are doing it is what I'm trying to say, man. And I had a video where I talked about doing it. Some of the comments from, there was one in particular. I took this challenge, did 2 sessions of 10K today. It took 1 hour before work, 1 hour after work, right? I mean, listen, that's normal. And he did it. He lost weight, man. He did a great job. Like, it can be done. Listen, if you wanted something easy, you shouldn't have watched this video. But the reason we're walking instead of doing something, any crazy cardio or running, is because our calories are gonna be so low. If you do HIIT cardio, problem with that is it's almost like resistance training for your muscle. We wanna do something low impact, but we still burn a lot of calories. You could just walk, man. Walk in the morning, walk in the afternoon, and you should be able to hit this, you know? Listen, if you got kids or a dog, you can go walking with your kids somewhere. They'll enjoy it. Walk your dog. Dogs love being outside. Walk your girlfriend. You guys need to walk your girlfriends, man. Put her on a leash. Hold her hand. And y'all would do it together. And that's all it. You know, we're gonna do a full body workout, 1 to 2 exercises per body part. You wanna pick the compound movements, 3 to 4 sets, depending on, you know, how well trained you are. Do that 3 to 4 times a week, because we're not really gonna focus on that. We just wanna maintain as much muscle as possible. Lift heavy when you're doing it. Like, oh, that's the key. When you're lifting, lift heavy. But also, it's this cardio and this diet. That's what's gonna do it, man. There are a few supplements that I take. I'm not telling you to do this. When it comes to supplement, hey, YouTube moderators, I'm not telling the viewer to do this. I'm saying me. The obligatory, I gotta tell you that I'm on testosterone replacement therapy. I got on TRT like right before I turned 40. I'm 42 now. If you were in your 30s, you should probably look into it as well. My testosterone, people say, man, your testosterone was low because you went on keto. There's some studies that show that keto can actually raise testosterone. My testosterone wasn't like crazy low. It was in the normal range, but it was the low end of normal for someone my age. And I just didn't want that. So I went on the fucking juice. All right, whatever. Go fuck yourself if you don't like it. Even before the TRT, this is what I did when I was cutting. I took this supplement. It's called Bronchaid. Bronchaid has in it an ingredient called ephedra. Ephedra, when I was in high school, ephedra was in every fat burner pill because it worked. Ephedra gives you a ton of energy and it really reduces your appetite. In America, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in America, you have to go to the pharmacist, go behind the counter. You got to be over 18 and you have to give. And I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I have to do when I get it. You shouldn't use this. I'm just telling you what I do. I have to give the pharmacist my ID. They look at it. Oh, okay. Do some shit in the computer. And then they fucking give me the shit, right? I guess I got to make sure I'm not making meth out of it or something. So I take this 2 to 3 times a day, plus 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine 2 to 3 times a day. Assess your tolerance. This is what I do. I'm not telling you what to do. This is what I do. I'm not telling you what to do. Do whatever you want. You can get that from like a can of Celsius. That's a cool way to get it, or pre-workout, whatever. 2 to 3 times a day, depending on your tolerance. Plus Bronchaid 2 to 3 times a day. You'll have a ton of energy, which is important. The ephedra and the caffeine to give you a ton of energy. Both of those are appetite suppressants. Because remember, we're keeping our calories super low. We want to do everything in our power to keep our appetite low so it's easier to adhere to this protocol. And there's one more thing you got to get. This ketone aid. This is exogenous ketone esters. This is not like the ketone salts usually. This is something different, right? This is ketone esters, which is way stronger. This stuff tastes like trash. I never tasted garbage dumpster juice, but I imagine that this is what it would taste like. But you know, no pain, no gain, man. And I take shots of this, capfuls. It's like the dosage. You fill up a cap full of it, and I'll take multiple dosages throughout the day. What it does is, man, every time I start feeling hungry, if I take a shot of that, I'm not hungry anymore. And it gives you more energy. It's exogenous ketones, but like a super strong version of it. Your body makes ketones. In the absence of glucose, liver will turn fat, either fat that you ingest or body fat, into ketones, and that's the fuel that your body will run out. However, this really helps people when they're trying to adjust to the ketogenic diet. While their body's trying to learn how to make ketones, you could just give it some ketones, right? You don't even need to be doing a ketogenic diet to benefit from this, right? It's just it's like another fuel source. It's super dope. Now, full disclosure, you can see I do be buying this shit. Full disclosure, I'm really cool with the CEO. Every once in a while, they'll send me some shit. They never pay me to endorse it. I noticed the difference, bro. I take this during the day, even when I'm not cutting. You know, I take it first thing in the morning, every morning. One of the things I start my day off, right? So now we'll have energy so we can walk all these fucking 20,000 steps. This also suppresses appetite. So we have 3 appetite suppressors, right? You do that 3 times a day, it'll be difficult to eat more calories than you're supposed to. Plus, if you do it with majority of protein and you keep your carbs low, that's also going to suppress appetite. This is how you adhere to this crazy ass protocol. But it'll also give you the energy to walk all these fucking steps. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do. I wouldn't do this without the bronchiate, without the ephedra. Like, I do not like doing this shit without the ephedra. It's probably the most potent appetite suppressant. Studies show that ephedra is one of the few things that actually does increase fat loss. Fat loss is a 2-part process. Lipolysis and oxidation. Lipolysis is when your fat cells break down into fatty acids. Oxidation is when your body uses those broken down fat cells for energy, right? And studies show that ephedra speeds up lipolysis, but it also gives you energy so you can fucking start moving more and you can oxidize that shit. It's illegal to put it in fitness supplements, right? You know, bodybuilder supplements, because it used to be in every fat burner when I was a kid in the 90s. I was 16 years old taking this shit before basketball games, fouling everybody. I fouled out of every game. Almost. I led the league in fouls. I was a ripped little kid. Legend has it was some high school wrestlers or some college wrestlers who were trying to make weight. So they were like dehydrating themselves, taking a bunch of ephedra, and they were running around with those garbage suits on with no water, trying to make weight for an event. And them kids died. I'm not telling you to do it. In fact, I'm telling you not to take it. Don't take it. Listen, man, everything I tell you is not just based off my own experience. It's based off training literally thousands of people over the last 25 years. You know, I've been a personal trainer for mad long. I was one of the first online trainers. I built a multi-7-figure online fitness business, and now I teach other people how to build their online fitness business too. If you would like to know more about that, I have a free ebook that will show you all about it. It's called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. Links in the description. This ebook will show you how to build your online fitness business, even if you don't have a big following, and even if you don't have a lot of experience. You'll at least learn more about the business and see if it's right for you, because it might not be right for you, but at least you can read the book, go through it, and see some examples, some other people we've helped. And if you don't like it, if you find out it's not for you, at least you'll know after you read the free ebook. Anyway, it links in the description.